The gentleman yields. Ms. Sykes is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Ranking Member Larson, for holding this hearing, and of course, Secretary Buttigieg, for your testimony. I'm certainly going to piggyback a little bit of my colleague and continue to talk about rail safety. As you know, the East Palestine trail derailment happened just next door to my district, and we have been very much involved and engaged. Since we've heard from the NTSB, we have pinned a letter to this committee, including to Chairman Nails, to hold a hearing on rail safety. I've signed that letter with my colleague, Nikema Williams from Georgia, who is also very interested in making sure that we are holding corporate actors accountable and protecting the safety and security of people across the nation. And thank you, Mr. Secretary, for your efforts in supporting bipartisan rail safety provisions and many of the things that we just heard about. I also want to say thank you for visiting Ohio's 13th district, the best district, of course, in the nation, as we all say, to highlight some of the local efforts to create workforce development opportunities, expand apprenticeships, and invest in infrastructure to lower costs. And none of these would be possible without the historic legislation like the bipartisan infrastructure law and the implementation work that you have done. We're very grateful for those funds that have made it to our communities, and a lot of people have gotten great jobs, union jobs especially, that pay well and are safe. But one thing that we didn't get to do in the district during your visit this week was visit our crown jewel, which we call the Akron-Canton Airport, which is CAK. They have received over $3 million in funding, and this airport was established during World War II and served as a vital asset for economic development in the community, and generated over $1 billion in the area and over 4,000 jobs. However, even with this type of activity and ridership, passenger rides, it has not protected this airport from threats faced by other small to mid-sized regional airports. So for example, CAK has seen major airlines consolidate their routes to Cleveland Hopkins, in part because CAK is designated within the Cleveland Airport as one market based on the Department of Transportation. And this designation has unfairly excluded CAK from the list of airports that require maximum air service levels and limits their ability to optimize their role as a key promoter of economic development. And this directly impacts my constituents because these were their jobs that now have moved. So, Mr. Secretary, how can airports like Akron-Canton distinguish itself as a unique standalone market when some of the decisions by agencies don't allow them to do so?
Well, first, let me thank you for welcoming us to the district. It was a very informative and inspiring visit. And also, let me thank you for your work on rail safety legislation that we are very hopeful gets quick action and results in this chamber. Having been the mayor of a city that had a small airport that was within driving distance of a big airport but meant a lot to our community, I certainly understand and sympathize with the aspirations of Akron-Canton and want to make sure that airport gets the support that it needs and deserves. I know that we've been in dialogue with the airport about planned upgrades for the air traffic control tower there, but also understand that there is a level of market pressure that's affecting the region. While some of the ways that these radii are set up may be pursuant to statute, to the extent there's any flexibility, we'd welcome opportunities to work with you on that so that it really makes sense for the region, for the market, and for a community or a facility like Akron-Canton.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. We have felt the downside of the consolidations and larger airports, larger airlines, going way back to U.S. Air, American Airlines, when we had Northwest, Delta, even with full flights, loyal customers, and large populations based close to our airport, and really a segment of our rural communities really preferring this route, it has been very, very impactful. And so, again, we just want to work with you on that very specific need in our community. We do not want to see this airport go away. It would be negatively impact not just Northeast Ohio, my district, but the entire eastern region of the state that certainly needs a lot of love. But with that, Mr. Secretary, I promised you when you were in the district that we were going to be very positive and give you good vibes, because I do know that this can be tough sitting in meetings for several hours, and I'm going to yield back my final 13 seconds so you can take a breath. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I yield back.
Thank you, Representative.